We made it to the end of the month. It is THG News Today. Good morning. Today is Thursday, right? Thursday, November 30th. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Good morning to you and yours. This is Mervyn Hanley with your news for today. The news, of course, is brought to you with the kind of compliments of Clarke & Sons on St. Maarten. Speaking of St. Maarten, THG Network is on the ground on St. Maarten. We'll be bringing you coverage of elections 2024. St. Maarten election is January the 11th, 2024, and we'll bring it to you not exactly every day, but we'll bring you updates and reports of this election. I'm here on the ground, and I can tell you that it is already buzzing. I've monitored and observed St. Maarten elections for years. And I'm telling you, for the first time, it's an electrifying atmosphere. There's momentum with one political party. I'm going to tell you about that. But yeah, it is on. The race is on here in St. Maarten for elections 2024. Remember to subscribe to the network's channel, the THG Network right here. Subscribe to our channel. But let me say good morning to the folks there on Anguilla. They're always logged on to THG Network. We have some very loyal fans and followers or listeners or viewers there on Anguilla. I want to say good morning to you, especially the management and staff there at Best Buy, East or West End. They're always logged on, whether at home or when they get to Best Buy. They're logged on for the news, the latest on THG Network, and we appreciate you, and I want to say thank you. If you're an Anguillian, then you know you love your eggnog. And Best Buy, they always have eggnog on sale. And anything for the Christmas season, your ham, your turkey, you name it, it has to be Best Buy on Anguilla. I have a story to share with you. You're going to want to stay tuned for this story. We'll be right back. It's a crazy story. Let's get a commercial break. Clarke & Sons have been serving the people of St. Maarten for over 40 years. And the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Clarke & Sons for simply the best. There are two locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Clarke & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Clarke & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Now, I don't think I mentioned before the break, there'll be no THG News Today on Friday. As I said before, we're here on the ground, so we're checking out certain things just to make sure that you have great coverage of the election 2024. So we are not going to have THG News Today on Friday as we prepare ourselves for the upcoming week and weeks. And of course, we just have to get ourselves together. So I'm going to take my time and read this story to you because it's a story out of St. Maarten, but it sounds like a movie. It is about two men fighting over a woman. One man killed the other, but both of them married. So here we have two married men, one killing the other over a side chick that both of them were sharing, or if I may use such a term, right? This story is about 4 minutes long. So I want you to listen attentively to this story. This is a script. This is good for lifetime. So here goes. Olivier Clarke is facing 18 years in prison on appeal for shooting and killing Oswald Meyers in Dawn Beach around 9:30 p.m. on May 8th, 2021. The confrontation that led to Meyers' fatal wound revolved around the woman with whom both men were cheating on their wives. That night, police found Meyers in his dark gray Toyota, gasping for air and bleeding heavily from a gunshot to his left abdomen. He died several hours later at the St. Maarten Medical Center, according to the Daily Herald. Police stopped Clarke's white Hyundai truck about 15 minutes after the shooting and placed him in handcuffs. In June 2022, the Court of First Instance found Clarke guilty of manslaughter and sentenced him to 11 years in prison. Both Clarke and the prosecutor's office appealed the lower court's verdict, while Clarke maintained during Tuesday's appeal trial that he acted in self-defense. The Solicitor General believed he had killed Meyers in cold blood. Considering murder proven, the Solicitor General asked the panel of 3 appellate judges to sentence Clarke to 18 years in prison. The higher court will render a verdict on December 18th. Threats, stones, and shots. The woman had filed a police complaint against Meyers, that's the dead man now, against Meyers about 3 weeks before the shooting, alleging that he had assaulted Clarke with rocks when he found them at her home. "I have bullets with your names on it," Meyers supposedly said to the pair at this time. About a week later, Clarke himself gave a statement to police about the threats. He followed this up 2 days later by sending WhatsApp screenshots to authorities, in which Meyers was sending messages and then deleting them. Clarke claimed that the content of the messages were also threatening. As he did in his lower court trial last June, Clarke said that Meyers was the aggressor on the night of the shooting. Clarke told the court that he had arrived at the woman's house around 5:30 p.m. that day to install a computer desk. When he was leaving 4 hours later, wow, that's a long time working on a desk. He did some work on that desk. He said he was suddenly blocked in by Meyers' truck, the second man now in the yard, right? Clarke said Meyers had gotten out and had begun to throw stones at his vehicle. This is when the business owner grabbed the gun he had been carrying as protection against armed robbers and fired about 3 shots. Describing Meyers as a friend and business associate. What? Clarke said it had never been his intention to end the other man's life. Instead, he claimed to only have shot at the vehicle to scare away his attacker. Clarke drove away from the scene at this point, but surveillance camera footage captured him making a U-turn and heading back towards the woman's house. Clarke said he had feared for the woman's safety as Meyers had driven toward her home. When he turned back onto the woman's street, Clarke claimed that Meyers was now heading straight toward him. The vehicles then crashed into each other, he said. A video from a nearby surveillance camera was shown during Tuesday's appeal trial. The sound of the crash could be heard distinctly, followed by the crack of a gunshot. The video then depicts Meyers' vehicle fleeing the scene, followed closely behind by Clarke's white truck. Another gunshot rings out after the vehicles leave the camera's view. Suddenly, the vehicles came back into view, this time going into the opposite direction. Clarke is still trailing Meyers. Another gunshot, pow, can be heard into this portion of the video, making a total of 6. Several moments later, the surveillance camera by the gated community security captured Meyers' vehicle coming to a stop. Clarke drives behind and parks close by. Clarke then walks over to Meyers' vehicle, opens the driver's door, and rummages around for a while. Clarke told the court that he had been looking for Meyers' gun, which he thought he saw when their trucks crashed into each other. Finding no gun, Clarke picks up what appear to be large stones and smashes the windshield and Meyers' front door windows. He follows this up by getting into his truck and driving away. "I had no other choice but to defend myself in whatever possible way," Clarke told the court on Tuesday. Police impounded Meyers' vehicle for investigation and found 5 bullet holes. 4 were on the passenger side, while a solitary shot entered through the driver's side door. The Solicitor General did not believe that Clarke had acted in self-defense. Instead, he considered murder proven and argued that the defendant had killed Meyers in cold blood. The Solicitor General questioned whether Meyers' assault on Clarke 3 weeks before the shooting had ever really happened. He pointed to WhatsApp exchanges between Clarke and the woman around that time, which he said never mentioned a fight or rocks being used as weapons. The statements to police also did not agree on the date on which the alleged fight had taken place. And this story, I'm telling you, it reads like a movie. And then it continues by saying that at the beginning of Tuesday's appeal trial, Clarke offered his deepest and sincere condolences to Meyers' loved ones, and someone shouted from the gallery, "Not accepted." So here you have it, that these two guys, I mean, was it even worth it? One going jail now for 18 years because I know the court. I am going to come back here on December 19th because the verdict will be on December 18th. I am going to come back here on December 19th and he will go to jail for 18 years. For what? I mean, really? Cheating on his wife and killing a man over his side chick. And probably somebody he doesn't even love, meaning the woman. It was just, He's going jail, one dead, and she can have any man she wants right now. Look at that. Idiots, boy. Listen, I have more stories, but because this took a while, I'll leave that for another day, okay? I tell you, the things that humans do in this world. This has been THG News Today. And remember, we'll have no THG News tomorrow as we are on the ground on St. Maarten and we're preparing ourselves for election coverage 2024. Before I go, the Honorable Sean K. Richards of St. Kitts, the leader of the People's Action Movement. He'll be on Sunday evening right here at THG Network. I'll have a one-on-one interview with him. I am not going around the bush with Sean Richards. I am going to hold his feet to the fire and he will answer my questions direct because I have a number of questions that probably other journalists will be afraid to ask Mr. Richards. Well, he's going to be in the hot seat on Sunday right here at THG Network. So that is one interview that you won't and don't want to miss. All right, have yourselves a wonderful weekend, everyone. I am Mervyn Hanley.